Wow, the ActionBoyz are here, back on High and Mighty.
Happy to have you guys as I go through all the greats coming down the home stretch here. How could I not ask you guys to do another 2 hours of talking?
To be the alpha and omega, much like the bomb in the Beneath the Planet of the Apes. It feels good to come back to where this show started, as you heard the teaser.
You guys were
High and Mighty
2.
is winding down. That was a good tease, Gabers, because you got to hype this stuff a little bit. Now everybody's going to freak the fuck out.
They're like,
and
I
they'll
better
be there for episode 500. You can't just
Strap in, bitches.
Yeah, get a little chatter going about that. A little buzzing, a little gossip, a little chatter.
And everybody will be like, well, I got to tune in to the ActionBoyz episode to hear about the ending of High and Mighty.
Yeah, we got to watch that ActionBoyz episode because Gabrus is going to Bud Dwyer himself.
High and Mighty. Gabrus, did you win Best Host in one of the early years of High and Mighty? I feel like you did.
I won some award early on, and I forget what it was. I think it was Most Improved Player. I started talking into the mic on episode 145, so people were impressed.
Well, a Spirit Award is always a rough one to win.
I did get Most Improved Player my senior year of high school, which just means like he's now on special teams.
Yeah. He didn't.
He was useless. He was useless for 3 years.
This plaque will end up in a cardboard box.
Didn't break the bench.
Right.
Well, as we look back on High and Mighty and our old episodes, and it's also a new year, we're looking forward. I thought it would be fun if we looked at time in some of the movies we've done. Now, a big subgenre of action movies are science fiction action movies. And we have done a ton of movies set in the future. And one of the weird things about living in this time now, 2025, very futuristic year.
Yeah, it's like a looks futuristic written out.
It's weird.
Yeah,
it's weird. The last few years have.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be fun to look back at some of the future movies we have done and decide if we are before it or after it in this current time of 2025.
Oh,
so
I love
we will
this.
name a movie. You guys will say if it's now in the past, or if it's still coming up in the future, or this is the cop-out answer, near future. They didn't give us a time.
Prepare for a lot of near futures from me.
Which is the cop-out answer? I'd like the cop-out again, sir. All right, this is just filmed for entertainment purposes.
I think no prize. Stanger, there's no
pass. Me and Stanger just pass every time.
I think people that listen are fascinated by a non-answer.
Okay, and so of course I've gone above and beyond. We have a lot of movies to go to. We've done a shocking amount of movies set in the future.
Finally figured out how to get Rogers to do a bunch of work for High and Mighty.
Yeah. So if you want a taste of what our show is like, it's kind of like this.
with more. Pass. I pass.
Two confused guys and one guy who did more than he should have.
Yeah. Anything we can do to activate Ben's perfectionism and put him to work is...
Well, okay, we talked about the Alpha and Omega, the bomb from Beneath the Planet of the Apes. This is a good place to start. We just covered this movie on the show. Do you think we are before or after Planet of the Apes in the year 2025?
I believe we are before.
Stanger?
Near future. No. Definitely before.
We're
It's
before.
3955.
Wow,
right?
Gabrus!
3955 is what I remember.
Yeah, we were doing Niner, and also it was a mistake that they made.
It was wrong.
It was wrong also. It was like 25 years off or something from Planet of the Apes.
Just lazy. A fascinating, lazy
fun
mistake.
movie where we get to see General Ursus, the gorilla in the sauna.
Yeah, we see a sauna scene. We see two apes in bad costumes in the sauna.
Here's a fun one. TC 2000. TC 2000.
Okay.
A movie from 1993.
Well, this is what the fun part of this game, to us, but maybe not to listeners, is you watch a movie from the 70s. It's like in the super future of 2001,
so this is
and
a
then
movie
it's
from 1993. It's set in the future.
Yeah.
They do you guys think it's near future? We've already passed it in 2025.
Well, it's starring the great Billy Blanks,
And I believe
Tybo fame.
I believe in 2025 now we still do not have tracker communicator technology.
Trapper
That's what
communicators is what Billy Blanks' Jason Storm is.
His brother is hard to kill, and he is TC.
TC,
Jason and Mason Storm.
TC stands for Tracker Communicator.
Tracker communicator.
And
Jason Storm better than Jason Bourne.
can I give you guys a hint? 2000 is not the year.
It's not the year. It's the model of the
of the tracker communicator.
Of the tracker communicator.
I'm gonna go. We are before the events of TC 2000.
Okay. I'm gonna say after.
Stanger is right. We are after. It's set in 2020.
2020 also a very futuristic
I
year.
think 2000 and 2020 are two of the most futuristic
tell you
years.
what?
Five kicks us past.
Yes, Stanger. That's
Yeah.
one thing I did notice. 2024 is the setting of a lot of movies we've covered.
Weird.
Yeah.
Probably because of the way it looks written, because I think that is kind of like
2025 is like too perfect.
Yeah.
It's like
So it's like-
it's too much of a quarter qualifier.
Yeah.
So it's like
I'm a
little,
great
yeah.
writer, so I'll put this before.
I've had sex with 91 women. 71. That reads better.
Okay, do you guys remember when we made a trip to Delos, the amusement park that contains Westworld?
Oh yeah.
yeah, I do now.
Westworld,
Delos? Westworld?
Westworld, the
No,
movie
'cause-
from 1973. What do we think? Before or after?
Before.
Yeah. Well, you think we're before it now?
Yes.
Yes.
This is a cop out.
It's the
Near future. They don't give it. And for all our listeners who have a problem with some of the results here, I am going off of the broken internet, what I can find there. I'm not actually rewatching all these movies. So if I missed a couple, maybe they throw a date in the background or there's some weird fucking comic book adaptation that like Aliens is a great example.
Yul Brenner's credit card says the year is 2006. Kill yourselves, guys.
Also, listen to ActionBoyz if you want to hear how the internet sucks now. Also, we did establish that, or maybe just I did, that we think that Present World would have been a good idea for as an amusement park.
Yeah, I think that was just you.
Might have been just me. Who knows? Listen to the show and see.
Okay,
And I
here's
think we know this already, but I did work at Westworld in the near future. I'm the guy who scoops the cum out of all the android horses.
That's
Because you know, if you go to Westworld, you can kill whoever you want and fuck whoever. Can I fuck one of these horses?
I'll be in the stable.
I think you're supposed to put peanut butter in the horse's mouth, sir.
Yeah.
No, trust me. I'm putting it on my balls.
I'll be in Looney Tunes land.
I didn't agree to a cream pie.
If you want to know what our show is, and stuff like that,
We'll finish inside.
it's okay.
We can't get pregnant. Oh, no, I'm having a centaur.
Yeah, that's what I was going to
But
say.
I'm your mom's horse.
It's okay. It's my step horse.
Okay, Zardoz, 1974. Zardoz, if you take Wizard of Oz
And just
and get rid of the of and the whiz, you get Zardoz or the we.
I wish I stood up and had the bottom half of the outfit, like
you
a
dress
red
like-
Speedo and a bandolier.
You dress like that to see Wicked, right?
Standing with like a ponytail and a pistol like this.
Hey, could you stop singing, man? Fuck you. Okay, can I just say this is not a cop out?
Okay.
They did give us a date.
I have a feeling it's like we are before Zardoz.
I'm saying before as well.
Good job, guys. 2293. We're doing
Yes.
good. This is the Eternals and the Brutals were in that. Sean Connery plays one of the Brutals.
And that's what I would want to be. Not those fuckers.
I'm
in
going to
the-
buzz through the cop-out ones because that's no fun. Robot Jocks.
Wow,
Sadly, that one's a cop-out.
Make a choice.
Achilles. Remember that one?
Yeah.
And the Gen Jocks, the genetically altered.
Crash and burn.
Yeah,
Crash and burn, baby.
Escape from L.A. This is a good one where we meet Map to the Stars Eddie, Steve Buscemi's character.
Yep.
And we get Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell is the Surgeon General of Beverly Hills.
And that one's a cop out.
No, this is not. This one has a date.
This one has a date. I'll say we're before. No, we're after.
My guess is also after.
We are after.
Yeah, thank God I fucking changed it. That was a close one. Everybody got nervous.
I think
For the listeners, we did stop down. Stanger got out a laptop and looked it up because he was refused. He keeps saying, I refuse to lose again.
Yeah,
and I don't know what he's referring to the first time.
Also, come on, we agreed to leave all that out. Don't fucking light me up. We stopped down 10 points, and every time we
broke his confidence. Yeah. We don't bring up that stuff.
Well, this time was annoying because the first laptop was dead and we had to charge it. And then you were like, let me go get my car laptop.
Okay, we agreed to protect me on the episode.
Okay, here's a good one. Soylent Green. A lot of 1973 movies we did, I'm learning. Soylent Green. This is with Detective Thorne, Charlton Heston.
All right, he's a detective.
Saul Roth, Edward Robinson, who dies the way we all want to do in a giant movie theater.
I just want to go to the Vista and during the intermission of The Brutalist have someone just snap my neck.
More than just seeing flowers and orchards and shit.
I want to watch a full
Orange
movie.
lights.
I want to watch Manhunter on the big screen and then get killed at the end during Strong as I Am.
For me, it's Red Dragon.
The better movie. Yeah. Rat Pack Entertainment.
Yeah. The far superior Red Dragon.
I'm going to go with after.
We are after that. I'm going to say we're before that.
We are after. It's 2022.
Whoa.
Just made it.
Squeaked by.
2022.
Oh, God.
I'm not going to lie. The whole time I've been going like, will I be alive for this? And then one of them was like 23. I was like, okay, no. 2022? Yeah, most likely. I was more or less alive then.
Let's go back to the 90s with Freejack, 1992. Emilio Estevez as Alex Furlong, Formula One racer.
Turned Freejack.
Mick Jagger as Victor Vasendik. This is a movie with bone jackers who are stealing people who are about to die in the past to use their body for future rich people. Actually, kind of a cool idea. The execution, not so great. Now, are we before or after the time of free jacks, which is what they call bone-jacked people who escape?
Yeah.
Wish
Now,
my wife was a bone jacker.
this is a little confusing because we
less
do
of
have
a-
bone jacking technology now in real life. But are we ahead of the curve or the movie's prediction, or are we behind it? That's the question.
I'm saying we're before.
I think we're after.
We are after.
Fuck, dude.
Freejack is a mere 10 years after 1992. It's 2002.
Wow.
Freejack, where 9/11 never happened, but bone jacking did.
God, the bone jackers could have made out like
Yeah, I
bandits
got
on
13
9/11.
Saudi pilots
Yeah.
and a gay rugby player.
As long as Buster Poindexter is your fucking agent, you're fine.
No Escape, 1994.
Oh,
Ray
this is Lance
Liotta.
Henriksen.
Yeah, Lance
Yeah.
Henderson.
What's the name
Absalon.
of it?
Absalon.
Oh, this is like, that's one of those.
Do you guys remember what?
Every morning we got to wake up and go, wait, what is the name of the island on? No, Escape. Absalon. Okay, good. You are allowed to continue your day.
Absalon and the Year was an alternate title.
Oh, shit.
This is where Ray Liotta gets convicted and goes to prison for the death of innocents in Benghazi.
Oh, my
Wow.
God.
This is also pretty close to Goodfellas, and like he did a big body transformation for this.
This is 4 years after Goodfellas was released. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking it serious. We're doing fucking.
And Matt Dillon is like his little like fucking scurrying around. Or is it Kevin? One of the
Kevin.
Dillons. Yeah.
Kevin.
Yeah.
And we are very close to this year.
Ooh.
So before or after?
I think we're before.
I'll say after.
Okay, we are after.
Thank God.
2022.
Ooh.
We're really just crossed over into passing a lot of these movies, which is terrifying.
The reason I remember the name of it is Absalon is because it replaced absolutely for me.
Can I get you another beer? Absalon. Okay.
All right, fuckface. Here you go.
Are you meeting anyone here?
I got to cut you off.
I know you're ordering for the first time.
I know this is one.
But you're
First drink and you're
I'm
dead
sorry,
sober.
buddy, but you got to get out of here.
I know this is a Heineken Zero, but I got to cut you off.
Yeah. Will you leave? Absalon.
Oh, yeah, so Death Race, unlike TC 2000, Death Race 2000 does say the year.
Passed.
But I thought it is passed. Yes, this is a gimme. Stanger. But I thought it was fun to see that.
Bust out the laptop.
It's the fallout from the world crash of '79.
Ooh.
This is with the great Don Steele as Junior Bruce.
Oh, yeah. The
real Don Steele.
A fine kill. A neat kill.
that dude has turned up in so much stuff since then. Like, I catch him all the time. Like, that voice is so recognizable. I see him in so much shit.
Great role in Gremlins, which we will be covering on ActionBoyz in 2025.
I just watched it. That's what I'm thinking of. I watched it like 10 days ago with Tiff.
Okay, so T2, a movie we've talked about quite endlessly from 1991. Any guesses as to
when John Connor's from?
Yes. What year is the T-800 sent from in T2? Are we before it or after it? Judgment Day is 1997, according to the film. Yes. August 29th, 1990.
Yeah, Skynet becomes a certain thing, but like how long did the humans kind of last until we're in that Skynet treads running over skulls?
What year are they sending the T-1000 and the T-800 for Terminator 2? Are we before it or after it? This is another close one.
Yeah, we're before it. It's like 2050.
Stanger?
Oh, fucking A. I'll say we're after.
We are before. It's 2029. Coming up.
Oh, holy shit.
Coming up.
Cool. My very own year.
My own birthday.
Oh, here's another good one. Cherry 2000. Now, this, like TC 2000, it is not the year. It is the model number for Cherry 2000. This is with Sam Treadwell looking for his sex doll with tracker E. Johnson.
Solicits the help of Melanie Griffith.
Oh. Melanie Griffith, not Cherry 2000.
Not Cherry 2000. No, sir.
Melanie Griffith is the tracker.
E. Johnson.
Edith.
Yeah. And also not Jonathan E. from Rollerball. E. Johnson from Cherry 2000.
They did give us a year. Are we before or after Cherry 2000, do you think?
We're after.
After.
We are after. Good job, fellas. It's 2017.
Ooh, interesting choice again. Can't
Here's
make
a tricky one. Virtuosity from 1995. Now, it starts in the present.
Oh, right.
And this is with our boy Sid 6.7.
Oh, my God. I know anytime this movie comes up, I just have to talk about the list of personalities that they upload to make Sid 6.7. It's like all these serial killers, but then there's also like... Sorry. It's like... what's his name? The leader of the Khmer Rouge is on the list.
Yeah. Like Serpentor is on there.
Like, it literally has like Hitler and all these people like as well.
Lucy from Peanuts. I guess she's kind of a villain.
Denzel's
Pol
character,
Pot? No,
Denzel's character, Lieutenant Barnes, goes to jail for killing the man who killed his family. Now, of course, that guy's DNA is mixed in with Sid 6.7. So they have to the concept is very similar actually to another future movie, Demolition Man, which we'll also be talking about. Now, how many years go by is he in jail for before they spring him for the events of Virtuosity? So are we before or after that, do you think?
Ooh, we are
after that.
We're after.
Yeah, that's kind of a gimme.
I'm a 6.5 guy.
So yes, it's 1999. It's right before the turn of the millennium.
99's a popular one for these movies.
This doesn't give us an exact date, but we will know if we were before or after because it does give us some information. The Fifth Element, 1997. Bruce Willis, Gary Oldman. Bruce Willis says Corbin Dallas.
Corbin Dallas multipass. Lilu Dallas multipass.
Lilu. Mila Jovovich.
Lilu Dallas multipass.
Lilu. Gary Oldman is Jean-Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg.
One time I got my hair cut like really poorly, like, you know, like a fashy kind of like way too high on the side. And like,
oh, no.
And it was like bad. My brother goes, "You look like Gary Oldman from The Fifth Element." And it's such a fucking dig because he has like that weird plastic scalp thing that's covered up his head.
That's a bad burn.
Oh, yeah. Chris Tucker, dynamite in this movie. We are before The Fifth Element.
After.
Okay, we are before. It's 23rd century. Though it does start in, I think, ancient Egypt.
He has like Luke
Or
Perry.
no, the 20s. I think it's like the British excavation of
Oh,
like,
right.
Is Luke Perry poking around in this fucking?
Yeah, that might be him in the beginning. I can't remember.
Oh, I don't
Or
remember.
he's like, he does something with mummies at some
Here's a
point.
surprising one. Highlander 2, The Quickening from 1991.
Ooh.
That is set in the future.
Wow, that's crazy. It's got to be before now, though.
God damn.
It's
Stanger,
the quickening
before, after.
McLeod.
I'll say after.
We are right after. It's 2024.
Whoa.
The idea, this is the if you haven't seen the Highlander 2, it's completely fucking insane. The idea is after the events of 1, Christopher Lambert,
Duncan.
Connor McLeod.
Oh, McLeod.
Duncan
that's right.
McLeod is from the TV show.
That's right.
I hate that I know that.
But by the way, we had an ActionBoyz holiday party, which was just like us having lunch at Ben's house, and it was like 3 hours long, and it was just like this. Like,
What?
Like we're like, it was pretty much. Remember this movie? When you're like, we literally are doing nothing different than what
3
we know.
people that lived nearby moved out.
We sat in my backyard, which is about the size of like a sauna. And we did just kind of like, we could have just recorded it and released it.
What's better, mixing up the TV and the movie or actually knowing it? I know, it's a little bit
It's
of
just
a
this is
push.
the place where you have that
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
Where you're like, they're actually not related, but I can feel it.
Fascinating movie.
Cop Out, the RoboCop universe, near future.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, near future.
Tom
Robo.
Noonan is Kane in RoboCop 2.
Yes, I understand.
Selling nuke, needs nuke.
Streets of Fire, another near future one. That's a weird kind of like, you know, I have
I'm trying to remember. Is that like a musical sort of?
It's a
Yeah.
musical, Walter Hill.
Willem Dafoe is Raven Shattuck.
Oh, with the weird hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of his many weird hair guys.
Eddie and the Cruisers is in it.
Rollerball.
It all
Michael
comes back to Eddie
Yeah,
and the Cruisers.
Perry.
With Stanger, it all comes
Yeah.
back to Eddie and the Cruisers.
Moranis got bullied him on the set.
Rollerball, they did give us a date. The 1975 version of Rollerball with James Caan as Jonathan E.
After.
You think we're after?
I think we're after.
We are after, folks. It's 2018.
2018. That's further along than I thought that they were doing it.
Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
We got some of the best rollerballers.
It's a cop out. They don't give us an exact date. It's near future.
For Marlboro Man?
Yeah.
We were stunned watching this that it's set in the future.
Yeah.
And like they set up like how Burbank has become the place to be and
And everybody is named after a product for some reason.
The movie takes place almost exclusively in Burbank, which is such a funny choice.
You know what? I think that movie is what that shitty Elvis movie that
Wishes it was.
Wishes it was. What was the name?
3,000
of that?
Miles.
3,000 Miles to Graceland.
God, maybe the worst film we've watched
I think
on this
so.
show.
I think
Yeah.
so. That got me more upset than any movie, and I hadn't seen it since it came out, and I didn't like it then.
Yeah.
But I hated it even more now.
I was excited to give it another. This is a Shadow Wolves episode, if anyone's wondering. I was excited to give it like another look of like, hey, you know, time has passed. Maybe it's even worse now.
Here's one of
my favorite name of that somebody had after a product was Sure Microphone. Did I scan
How'd
the
you
room?
come up with that?
Kaiser Soze.
Billy Goat T-shirt, long sleeve.
This is my friend Ultima OC Whiteco.
Here's one of our favorites, featuring Colonel Robert Neville, MD.
Wow. Omega.
The Omega Man, 1971.
Hello?
Now, it doesn't give us an exact year, but we are dealing with the fallout of the Sino-Soviet battle, which was a thing people thought would happen in the 70s, that the USSR and China would have a nuclear war. It was everybody was kind of hoping.
I feel like the U.S. is back on that tip. I'm like, maybe they'll just kill each other.
I remember like wishing. I think the concept of Escape from New York, where it's the U.S. versus Russia is Russia and China a little bit more realistic. So do you think we're before or after Omega Man?
We are after.
We are after. Yeah, 4 Minute Mile. Roger Barrister already.
Yes,
Yeah.
good call. They think World War III happens 1975 to 1977.
Wow.
So that movie takes place somewhere after that.
Mhm.
So it could be 78, could be 98 or whatever. But
Do you think we're before or after Hell Comes to Frogtown, 1988?
After.
This is with Roddy Piper as Sam Hell,
I-
one of the few men with working jizz.
Yeah.
I remember almost nothing from this movie except for put your blouse on. It's like the only thing I remember, which is a bit we did.
Everybody's horny.
Everybody's horny. They want to fuck him
Okay,
because
put your blouse on. Sam Hell's weird voice. Roddy Piper's.
he's got a weird voice. And he also tells her she's trying to sleep with him, so she takes her blouse off. But then he tells her to put her glasses. No, there's a weird flip that he does with glasses and put your blouse on, take your glasses off.
This is set in the late 20th century.
Whoa.
So we haven't gotten to,
Wow.
or so we've crossed, we've beaten Frogtown.
You were right.
We're past it.
You were right.
I was in high school in the late 20th century.
Put your camel jacket on.
Mad Max
your shirt off.
universe, cop out in near future, we don't know.
Yeah.
I believe.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Miller. Fucking fill us in, dude. We want to know the year.
Like, of course, I got to know how Furiosa lost her arm.
Now
I
we
can't
do
figure
have
out
a year
anything.
for Time Cop from 1994 with Jean-Claude Van Damme as Agent Max Walker.
I am Max Walker.
Definitely after.
Ridden my boot. Now, walk us through. Why do you think we're after Stanger? I'd like to hear the logic behind this because I think you might have it.
Because there's a lot of attention paid to years. You know, I feel like I remember years in it, but I don't know how or why.
Okay, because it starts in the present.
Starts
and then
in the
you jump to the future after because
Wife dies.
yes, so he's got to go back in
But
the
you
past.
don't want to jump too. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to jump too far.
So it's 10 years after the release date. Release was 1994. It takes place in 2004.
Holy shit.
You don't have to drive the car yourself. The car drives for you.
You guys got any guesses? as to
2004. What great Reese's peanut butter cups.
Everyone will have mullet.
I have to do split on my island in kitchen.
I think in future mullets will be greasier. Any guess when the adventures of Judge Hershey and Judge Dredd of Mega City 1 are? Judge Dredd, 1995. They still haven't gotten Judge Dredd right.
I like the movie Dredd, but they didn't get the character right, but that was a fun
Dredd
movie.
is, just a new version of The Raid, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But like they've never gotten the kind of like fascist. They need a director like Verhoeven to be doing Judge Dredd.
Right.
I mean, he would be the only guy who would like get it.
Or the Russo brothers. Be fucking awesome.
$600 million.
Awesome.
What do you guys think? Are we before or after Judge Dredd?
They call it Dread Notice.
Boring.
I never want to be in Marvel. I'm just kidding.
Turn on your weapon and prepare to be born. I think we're before.
I think we're before as well.
We are before Judge Dredd, 22nd century, 2139.
Absolutely. Great job on that one. He's a fan of the show.
Speaking of Verhoeven, let's talk about Starship Troopers, 1997.
Wow.
Now,
I have no memory of doing that.
So they do not tell you what the year is, but in the director commentary, Verhoeven does say when it takes place.
Whoa.
Now, any guesses as to if we're before or after?
You see the kind of work that goes into
just going off the tech available to them in the movie, I got to go that we are before it.
Gosh, and they do make some, the kind of war that it is. And I think maybe after.
We are before it, 23rd century, according to the director commentary. Stars Casper Van Dien as Johnny Rico. Now,
Rico's Roughnecks.
Now, this will be a nice plug for Zombie Squad, one of the tiers of ActionBoyz, which it's still, this one hasn't been released yet. We're about to record it in this very shack for K9000, starring Catherine Oxenberg, who will marry Casper Van Dien around the time of Starship Troopers, I think.
Isn't Catherine Oxenberg also the woman from the documentary about Nexium?
Her whole life is wild. We can really get into it on Zombie Squad, but you go to her Wikipedia page, you will be like, this can't be true. It's like she's like from royalty.
Yeah, she's like Zelig level. Like she has like 25 lives, more or less.
It's fucking nuts.
I remember being so into her. She's also beautiful, like into her during the Nexium doc. I'm like, this fucking woman did what next?
And one of the craziest parts, she's in the movie K9000, which we're covering for Zombie Squad, made for TV.
I love that she has this
adaptation of K9. That is better. That I stand by.
She is royalty. She's been dealing with the Nexium cult. Her family is all wealthy. She's like done millions of things. And the thing that's most intriguing to us is that she's Axe in K9000. And as a matter of fact, we've referenced her as she would eventually marry Casper Van Dien, which is also weirdly interesting.
Married to Van Dien. And for those of you that don't know, K9000 is a made-for-TV pilot of a potential series that never happened. That was a spin-off of the movie K9, starring Jim Belushi and what was the dog's name?
God, I can't remember. Catherine Oxenberg also married to Robert Evans for like a day, and then
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Did she do K9? You betcha.
Oh, here's the one we're real close to. Johnny Mnemonic with Dolph Lundgren as the
Jesus?
street preacher.
And Johnny Mnemonic also features Ice-T and a dolphin in a tank.
Ice-T is J-Bone. And don't forget Henry Rollins is Spider.
Oh, right.
So this is close. This is close to us. Johnny Mnemonic from 1995.
I'm going to guess we are before it.
The P is silent.
I think it's an M.
The B is really silent. It's not even there. Johnny Mnemonic.
God. I'm going to say, what?
Stanger's really trying
There's
to
got to be a special way to try to remember when Johnny Mnemonic comes out. There's got to be some sort of device that helps you remember. What can we call it?
I just immediately thought of pneumonia. And that's how I got to the P.
That's why you're shivering?
Pushing you before or after?
It's making
Just remember the one-word answer that moves the game along.
And again, there is no prize.
And we're back. Laptop is dead.
10 different giant chargers.
I can't even remember what Gabriel's answer was anymore.
We're before.
I'm going to say before.
Okay, we are after 2021, Johnny Mnemonic.
Whoa.
God damn.
I remember seeing that in 2021 real life. I remember seeing Johnny Mnemonic.
If I didn't fumble on the word stuff, the letters, I would have got that.
Oh, here's a good
Let's
one.
just give him the point.
Yeah, give me the point.
Okay,
Do I get the point?
Stanger. Here's time to redeem yourself. Waterworld, 1995, featuring the Mariner. We all remember the Mariner, but do you guys remember Dennis Hopper's character?
Ooh.
He's the Deacon.
The Deacon, the leader of the smokers.
Yeah. Now, what year do we think this is? Do you think we've already passed it, or are we yet to get to it?
I think we're after it.
I think we're after it narratively, but it's coming up rapidly scientifically.
So we are way before this. Waterworld 2500.
Oh my God.
Oh shit, dude. That's going to be a fucking ripping century.
I think they shot it too far. That
Way
was
too
the one
far.
that seems to the fucking closest.
Yeah, that's
2,500 is such a good guess.
I mean, I think
let's make it 600
Fuck
years
it.
from now.
yeah, planet will be gone.
Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan from 1982, featuring Khan Noonien Singh.
By the way, you've mentioned so many movies, and it wasn't until Waterworld, a movie I didn't even really love, that my brain went, I got to rewatch that.
You didn't love it?
I mean, I loved it, but it's like, it's
No,
crazy
he's
to
being
want to
sarcastic.
rewatch
The
it.
best part of all you need to rewatch is the Universal logo where the water gets all fucking like where the planet gets wet, and then that's it. That's the best
I think
part.
you need to watch him flying out of the water because he's swimming so fast.
Yeah, that one's pretty.
Because
I
you're a
mean,
swimmer.
I'm envious.
You can
Yeah.
re-listen to our episode where we all were hoping we would like it and we all fucking hated it. So I remember that much.
I think I'm back to
It's gonna
liking
trick
it.
you again.
Let's put it on. All right, we're back. We hated it. Poor Kevin's on hour 7 of recording this High and Mighty episode.
Gene Triplehorn.
We've been to the Apple store 3 times. I do distinctly remember a story from that episode where you said, oh, Jeannie Triplehorn, huh, to Stone, and you kind of like accidentally like made it awkward for him. You were like, she's pretty hot, huh, or something like that. You did.
My son came into the episode because he had some thoughts on it, and so
that's what it was. We spoke to him. Yes,
yeah. And so I was going to ask him the question that kind of the prompt that would tell us where he would tell us what he thought, and then I just asked him a question about Gene Triplehorn. And he's really little and you can hear him go, wait, what? Threw him under the bus.
He's like, before.
And he's like, double horn. We're like, what?
More than quadruple horn, if you ask me.
What was the question again?
Star Trek 2. Star Trek 2. Are we before or after?
Corinthian
the world
leather.
of Star Trek.
Well, we know that the incline press has been invented at this point, right?
Yeah, because
Upper pecs are being developed.
Cons pecs, of course. This is mostly known for the pecs of our villain, who are framed by his necklace and shirt collar that a lot of people thought was a chess piece, but no.
Just Ricardo Montalban.
Ricardo
Right?
Montalban is just that
hairless, gorgeous skin that is really developed and then sort of corseted up in a way.
He's got
Just-
super pecs.
And like crazy separation. Also, filmmakers and people involved tired of answering the question about it.
Yeah, really annoying.
They are annoyed by it. We're before, right?
We're before.
Yeah.
This is 23rd century.
It's not till the next
20,
generation.
yeah,
that this all starts happening.
2285.
Whoa. Hell yeah.
I have good
My
feelings
goal
about
weight.
that year.
2,285 pounds.
It is
I'm an
crazy that
elephant.
it's
I did it.
Wow, yeah. Okay, Star Trek 2, and then you go another fucking 200 years and get to Waterworld.
Yeah, a little bit of slowdown in tech.
Okay, this is a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, how do they have those fucking jet skis and stuff? Those things lasted?
They lasted
Yeah.
600 years.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. And again, maybe the internet is wrong. Cyborg is a tough one because they don't give us an exact date, but it's around now. But we got to talk about, we got to mention it since we covered it on the show with one of the great intros where I actually rewatched the intro thinking they must give us the date. And instead it's like, the strongest scientists are trying to fix it, but I don't want to. I like this world.
Right.
Fender.
Fender Stratocaster.
This is with Gibson Rickenbacker as Jean-Claude Van Damme's character, who is not the cyborg, by the way.
Not the cyborg, nor is the
villain is also not the
villain
cyborg.
The guy who has like weird digital eyes is not the cyborg either.
Here's one of our favorites with Tom Selleck as Sergeant Jack Ramsey.
Oh, and he's got the electronic scatter
Runaway.
suit on.
Runaway from 1984.
Gene Simmons as a bad guy.
Gene Simmons as Dr. Luther.
I randomly got served a Gene Simmons thing on Instagram Reels, and he speaks like 6 different languages in the conversation amongst people. Like he like responds in Korean to a guy speaking.
He was like a
Korean.
professor and stuff before he got into music.
Before he figured out that he just wants to rock and roll.
Stang, you ever see Gene Simmons hiking or anything like that?
Listen to ActionBoyz. It's been brought up.
Clown White. I've been putting this makeup on longer than you're alive.
Anyway, I guess I'll just take the Kiss pinball machine.
What year do we think? Are we before or after Runaway?
Kirstie Alley.
Where everybody has robots and some of the robots start killing people.
Is this a Stephen King story too?
No, this is a Crichton.
Crichton. That's right. Someone and Crichton directed.
Crichton director. Yeah. Also as well.
All
Good memory, Gabrus.
all shooting down. He insisted on holding the camera.
Crichton, who's like 8 feet tall.
Stand next to Gene Simmons, your fucking tiny little Selleck in your little fucking.
I think Simmons is big.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but
right?
the Crichton Simmons and little Tom
And Selleck is big too. Like
Selleck
he's
is big,
like,
too.
I gotta get all big guys.
I don't want to
I
look like a
think-
freak in the director chair.
Gene Simmons had to wear the Kiss boots to get notes from Crichton. She's very attractive.
Michael.
What's a scatter suit, Michael?
Michael, I built a scatter suit for real.
I'm gonna go with after.
Dino DNA is in the insects. That's how I got the idea from Gene Simmons. I'm saying
Rising sun scared the hell out of me, Michael.
I didn't know you could die
Why?
from gasping. I didn't know gasping was dangerous.
Yeah.
You know, my hair is inspired by samurai.
I like how it scared him. He's like, I got to stop all these kinks because I could fucking die. I'm going to say we're before.
We are after. Runaway is set in the futuristic year of 1991.
Oh, amazing.
That makes sense for how it looked and what the tech. Yeah.
It's such a when did the movie get made?
84.
They're like, in probably 7 years. This will be what
You know, you got to give them credit of like not saying near future. They're
Right.
at least giving it something.
And the Robos. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Robos.
And the Robos. I felt like I was getting I wanted a toy that my parents would never buy me.
The movie did have actual robots in it, which is what was
Cool,
One
yeah.
of the cool things about it. Enemy Mine, 1985, with grapefruiting Jerry, Louis Gossett Jr.
Awesome brrr.
Darwich.
Uncow, you look terrible. And he shaves his beard.
What are we?
Has anyone talked about Enemy Mine more than us?
Dude, I got in trouble on a job in Enemy Mine. I never told you guys this, did I?
No, you did, but I know
did.
it.
Okay,
Tell
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, tell it now.
So yeah, I can tell it now. I was on a job. I won't name it, but the showrunner was like, "Well, it's like an Enemy Mine situation," and he explained what he thought, and I was like, "Well, that's actually not what the movie's about." He was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Have you seen Enemy Mine?" He's like, "Yeah, of course." I was like, "Well, that's not what the movie is about." And then the whole room went quiet, and we had just covered Enemy Mine,
and then talked
Yes.
about it for 3
Yes.
hours after. Kind of gets in your memory a little more.
That wouldn't have mattered, though.
Not for Ben.
Yes. And this dude got weirdly embarrassed that and I was like, so it's like what you're talking about is a different thing and we could do that. But it's, I mean, in Enemy Mine, you reference Enemy Mine a lot. You should know. Because he would bring up the movie constantly. And I was like, you should know that is not what the movie, you've created a different movie in your head and that's not the plot of the film.
And if you're a normal person, you're just like, oh, oh, cool. And then nobody would care and it would be totally fine.
I mean, I was saving him future embarrassment from someone else like me.
When he
who
finally
knows the
met
movie.
Lou Gossett
Yeah.
Jr. and blew it.
That Wolfgang Peterson, I think it is.
It is.
Yeah.
We, before or after?
Oh, we're before.
I keep accidentally using the real tech in the movie and being like, whoa, we could. In my head, I keep going well, we don't have that kind of space travel yet.
Well, obviously, we've never met that alien, so we got to be before.
Right? Or I would know. I think I would know if we met that alien.
Yeah.
I think I would know if Bonejackers existed. We are before.
We are before late 21st century.
Ooh.
That's all that gives us, but we're still early 21st century. Predator 2 from 1990, a movie whose director once told me I was bad.
What's that story again?
This director, probably the meanest feedback I've ever gotten for an audition for an under 2. He was 2-line scene, and he was fucking just wildly dismissive and insulting to me.
Shit.
Crazy that he was even in the room for those.
Do you remember, do you know any of the other movies he's done? I feel like we've talked about.
He mostly has done TV.
TV, okay.
And this was for a TV show that I was auditioning. But yeah, he was in there and he was he did not like me. But I like Predator 2 nonetheless.
I think we're after Predator 2 because they're
After,
kind
I
of hit
agree.
it, right? It's kind
It's
of
close.
Yeah, it's movie released 1990. 1997, Danny
Yeah.
Glover is Mike Harrigan.
they're leaning too hard on the violence of LA to make it too far. into the
Incredible
future.
cast.
Cast is stunning.
Hell, if you want a semen sample, I'll just give you a pair of my drawers. You get all three. I can't remember that joke, but it's in my head.
Yeah,
We
Bill.
brought up Escape from L.A., Escape from New York, is set before it in the futuristic year of 1997.
Jesus.
Wow. So that was in the cinematic universe of Predator 2.
Here's a tough one. Total Recall, 1990. One of our favorites.
Oof.
Ooh.
Arnold Schwarzenegger as Douglas Quaid or Carl Hauser. Hauser is actually a friend of mine.
I think we're before Total Recall.
Gosh, it's
The fucking beads of sweat. No, I didn't think you would be taking this seriously.
I kind of could have guessed it.
after the Silent P snafu. I feel like I've got to seem smart
Rattled.
again.
Yeah.
I gotta feel like I got to seem smart again. Everybody thinks I'm smart. I don't want to lose that.
Got to keep this up.
We are after Total.
Oh, wow. Gabers is right. We are before Total Recall 2084.
2084.
Ooh, we could be alive for Total Recall.
Trying to keep it interesting.
60 more years. That puts me at 102. Yeah, I got this.
You're going to live to 102.
I don't know, with this kind of the
Yeah,
longevity.
I got to just get my Manjaro squared away, and I'll live forever.
Hey, what's up? You're listening to episode 600 of Being Fat. I'm with the Mike Mitchell AI.
Yeah, I'm with the Mitch head in a jar, big fucking jar.
Wouldn't it be so much better if these Waymos had the Johnny Cab tech? Hell of a day, isn't it?
I would.
Yeah.
I wish they did. Why is it that hard to put a fucking fake like robot driver in there?
Yeah, they fucking have that shit at
Just that fucking beautiful sex doll with her tits out and drives you.
Yeah, they could just use the same tech they did for an aerial animatronic at Disneyland.
Like a pirate.
Now, according to the internet, Aliens, which we covered, takes place in 2179, but I don't remember it being mentioned in the movie, so I'm not going to include it. I think that's kind of stuff that's done more recently.
Yeah,
They've
because
put,
especially with
a
these
timeline to
extended
it. Yes.
universe movies and shit like that.
Well, she's asleep for 60 years.
Here's a tricky one.
And her bush hair doesn't grow that much.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only way you can date it is
Bush
by
hair?
like bush
I
hair.
don't think you need to say hair.
bush.
I think bush covers it.
I'm talking about the hair of her bush.
It's like saying manless drone.
Yeah. It's like saying George W.
Yes.
I think you mean L.
Demolition Man. This is a tricky one. Demolition Man from 1993 with Sly as Spartan and Snipes as Phoenix.
Oh.
And then we got Sandra Bullock as Lenina Huxley.
And then you, wow, I didn't even put that together. The Huxley get there. And then you have Dennis Leary as Dennis Leary doing 6 minutes of from his actual hour in the movie.
He's the funniest guy in San Angeles.
Yeah.
Now, this movie takes place after the fast food wars. So,
Yeah. Taco Bell is the only restaurant. Rat burgers are delicious. What would Rat Boys think of how delicious the rat burgers are in San Angeles?
the Hunka Chunka is still safe.
I'm talking about boning. The horizontal mambo, hunka chunka. They, of course, do versex instead of fluid exchange.
Nobody gives a shit if you fucking show your
Elon
tits.
Musk is like, this is what is going to happen. We got to get Trump elected.
Everyone has shit all over their ass crack and fucking in their drawers.
Everybody's fucking sticking
Thank
shells
God
up
they
their
got-
asshole.
Thank God they got rid of toilet paper.
So
the worst invention of our time.
You got to go swear at the citation machine for swearing.
We are before.
We are just barely after.
We are before. So Demolition Man is, well, it's a little bit of a trick question, I suppose. We're before and after.
Oh, because
Demolition Man starts in the futuristic year of 1996, but then they're frozen in 90. So they jump to near future to have the freezing technology for when Spartan and Phoenix get put away. Then they thaw them out in 2032.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
So
coming up
that's-
soon. I just watched the first Austin Powers again for some reason with Tiff, and it is also freezing the bad guys. And
Yeah.
like it's like same shit we've been doing like for so many movies.
Hey, who's better being frozen, Austin or Spartan?
People really thought we'd have cryogenics figured out. Like,
Yeah,
they thought
Disney.
right around the block.
Now
Yeah.
we're just using it to like
Ted Williams.
Yeah, we're just using it to like melt the fat off housewives' guts or just using it to enriching guys who own cryo.
Here's one we might be revisiting in 2025 for the ActionBoyz podcast. One we've already covered on High and Mighty. The Running Man in 1987.
Ooh.
Now, it does give us some dates of when this movie takes place. Do you think it's before? This is with the famous trio of Weiss, Cunningham, and Richards. Ben Richards.
Yeah.
The Butcher of Bakersfield.
Butcher of Bakersfield, supposedly.
I'm going to say we are after, and I hope the price is right.
I'm going to say
No, I hope the Family Feud is right.
I'm going to say before. Show me before.
Survey says we are after.
Oh, wow.
Good shit.
Running Man 2017
Ooh.
to 2019.
Whoa.
Of course, we're referring to Richard Dawson as Killian.
And also the host of Family Feud, the lip kisser,
the
famous
famous
kisser.
lip kisser, the first host of Family Feud, and you could say maybe the all-time greatest. Nobody's been able to live up to it except maybe Harvey.
I think,
Harvey's
yeah,
great.
I
Maybe
think
it's surpassed.
Ray Combs stumbled a little, and then Harvey brought it back.
Harvey
Okay.
brought it back.
I don't know why this detail is stuck in my head that Ray Combs tried to kill himself in a psych hospital by hitting himself in the head with a rock.
Jesus.
And I don't know if that's true. Like, this is a crazy thing to maybe think is true.
What? Why did they have a rock in there? Seems
It was a map of a rock.
my name, brother.
I'm out there killing
Okay,
it.
so that's all I got for you guys. But I did make another list to end on that we could talk about of movies I was shocked aren't set in the future.
Ooh, that's I like this category. Have you ever seen? It's a meme that's gone around, but my friend Dan Meth made this poster that is like
Where we're at in the future.
yeah, and it's like the year that every sci-fi movie takes place, and it's like you are here, and then it's like 2000. Like
Yeah,
oh,
I do
it's
like
cool.
I do like seeing that come around. Beastmaster 2 Through the Portal in Time. Not set in the future or the past. Of course, it's a different dimension. The title
time
has
is
nothing
not-
to do with it whatsoever.
Beastmaster's playing at the theater where they are.
That's such a crazy.
Independence Day, not set in the future.
Wow.
Face Off, not set in the future. Now, it was written, the screenplay, and these again are all movies we've covered on the ActionBoyz podcast. The screenplay was written to be set in the near future, but they decided to say, like, fuck it, let's just like set it now.
We got to have
John Woo, Nick Cage, and John Travolta having a little powwow, and it's like, you know what? Let's just shoot this fucking
And again,
movie.
some of these I could be wrong. I was shocked that The Warriors wasn't set in the future. In my head, I always thought that was in a weird kind of like near future.
Oh, I always thought it was like in the contemporary to the time of the movie, like 70s, 80s, because of the styling.
I thought
yeah.
they jumped it forward a little bit to make sense of the gangs.
Congo,
Wow.
set in present day.
That's unbelievable. Amy.
And we're close to having this. It is weird that we've surpassed the robot voice.
Right. That
Now,
like,
just like, it's like, hey, it's me, your glove.
hey, it's me. I'm not Elon Musk. Did you hear about this controversy that's
No.
going around? He's gotten hot water because he was talking about the immigrant hiring, the H-1B visas or whatever, and racists who support him are like, wow, what do you mean you're bringing in Indian guys to take American jobs? So they got really mad at him. Someone made a Twitter Spaces or whatever, those like little rooms where you go, and a guy who came in there with a blue check named like Spencer something and clearly had a voice modulator thing on was like, it's fucking bullshit. But he has like a light South African accent. Everyone's like, this is Elon pretending to be someone else and create with like a bunch of followers, like a fake account, and screaming about how like MAGA needs to pay attention. Elon is right.
I mean, fingers crossed for Joey Gorp to make a verbal appearance somewhere.
Oh, yeah, this one will blow your socks off.
Do we explain Joey Gorp?
Joey
Well,
Gorp.
I'm sure we've, I mean, if,
But
I mean, I
this
don't
is
know
the
what
place
I
to do
guess
on-
this is-
yeah.
yeah.
Joey Gorp is John Krasinski's alt that he uses to respond to
People were
backlash
hating on him.
as Jack Ryan.
We got
People
obsessed
call him-
with George. I can't. Found Joey Gorp? Did Clements find Joey Gorp?
I don't know. I don't know. I thought it was Stanger because
It wasn't me. No, I heard about it from Ben.
yeah, we got so into it because people were anti Krasinski because they're like, doing a CIA show is also like propaganda and you're not believable. And he's like, John Krasinski's 6'3", 225, lean, knows martial arts. And it's like this guy Joey Gorp is defending everyone with like his size and his stats and stuff.
And his only posts were anybody that went after, it was like, Krasinski, the nerdy guy from the office is not believable. And like his only posts were like responses to those
Yeah.
people.
I think
Joey Gorp had no other online
I think I
presence.
got to give Clements credit for enlightening us about the mystery of Joey
The
Gorp.
Gorpiverse.
I think about it all the time.
Gorp gloves.
Road tour.
Wow,
Not
Road
in the
Tour?
future?
Not in the future. Yeah.
Wow, that's
Road tour, one of our favorites.
God, I haven't thought of Road Tour in a really long time.
Universal Soldier, not in the future. I mean, that kind of makes sense once you start thinking about it, because like
It's got to be close to Vietnam or wherever they're
Yeah.
supposed to be.
it's got to be close to one of Roland Emmerich's pool parties for boys.
some of these movies are just set in like this stylistic world where you kind of like in your head think maybe it's the near future, but they
Right.
never
Sometimes
really,
it's just like set in a movie.
Buckaroo
universe.
Banzai, for example. No date given. It's kind of supposed to be
Right.
contemporary, present day, but like maybe it's just its own kind of universe.
Yeah, Beethoven second.
It's like Shazam, like those comic books. Like Shazam to me never seemed like it was set in like our actual world.
No, it was
You know,
like in
it was like a weird sort of
Americana
comic book world.
Yeah.
Love those movies.
Hackers, not set in the future. That
Whoa.
was supposed to be the present.
Acid Rain.
Here's
What are the names? The
Zero Cool.
Zero Cool. Yes, that is.
Street Fighter, set in present times.
Wow, that boat is supposed to be from present times.
Yeah, the UN, the strength of the UN.
Yeah, that's why I believe it.
Tron, set in the present.
Oh
Wow, man. Present day, man.
I love your fucking bridges. It's so makes me
Lazy and bad.
You just
Say
do
man.
Say man.
Yeah, that's all I
but
can
that-
do.
but it's- Hey, Tron, man.
Hey, man, we got to get in these bikes, man.
Player one. You're a player. Deep Star 6, a movie we covered.
Oh my God! Right. Deep Star 6, famously, we watched separately.
We
and
watched
a big chunk
we
of it
watched
together
a big chunk of it
during the road tour when we were on the road for
when
road
we
tour.
were in Dallas, and we threw it on, and we like completely got absorbed.
Yeah, and we're like, we have to ration this. We got to stop it now.
Well, it was mostly we
We
wanted to put on a movie that we could just chill and
we-
talk over, but we got so
We were
into
like,
Deep Star
man,
6.
yeah, man, the costumes are really good. And they were like, actually, the effects are pretty good. And then we were just fucking fully silent
Yeah, it's
watching
like,
the
tell
whole
me
movie.
about your life. Into the movie.
Stargate, set in the present.
Is that where Luke Perry's dealing with mummies?
That could be.
Because they have like the weird like before they go through the gate.
Yeah,
there's
that
like
might be it.
there's like the regular world that they're in. But
And don't add us. We don't give a fuck.
Double Team. A lot of Van Damme movies I've noticed all kind of feel like they're maybe in the future.
well, because they
whether
just don't
are.
have any like
Yeah.
connection to reality,
Yeah.
right? I don't even remember anything from Double Team.
Double Teams
and I've
with
seen that movie outside of the podcast.
him and Dennis
Yeah.
Rodman.
I
It's
remember the
crazy.
basketball parachute.
Well, Double Team is wild that it's not in the future because of that weird, like, prisoner element that they have. To
And
it,
again,
that he has to
these could- and
escape
again,
from.
These could be wrong.
right.
These could all be wrong. Eve of Destruction. Do you guys remember covering that movie?
Nope.
No memory of it at all.
No, not
Gregory Hines.
Oh.
Eve 6 or whatever, like the robot, the killer robot lady.
God
I
damn.
do not.
That is incredible.
This is where he like tap dances.
Island of Dr. Moreau.
Never forgot it.
Set in the present. Lawnmower Man. Set in the present. Here's
Wow.
a shocking one that maybe you guys can't even remember doing the movie. Megaforce, not set in the future.
I remember doing Megaforce.
Oh, I remember Mega-
We,
we
rec-
just-
we recently had to do like old man find the word for it for that.
Well, because I was thinking a laser movie was
Yeah,
Megaforce.
because Laser Mission and Megaforce, honestly, the
Separate
names
movies.
could be switched, and you wouldn't like nothing would like
Hal Needham's huge flop.
Yeah.
Oh.
Legendary
the
stuntman.
weird Bostwick suits that like they had those like kind of thin wetsuits that showed too much and like a weird.
Hal Needham showing up on set wearing jeans and like a denim watch doing Laser Mission. Hell, I got to say the Mylar suits look like them in the future.
So
That's a perfect
that brings
Hal
us
Needham.
to about an hour worth of future movies. We did
Jesus
it, and it
Christ.
brings us back to the future of ActionBoyz, which will continue. Happy to be part of the High and Mighty universe.
Yeah,
what a ride!
This is like a case of like Family Matters and Perfect Strangers, where the spinoff ends up being a stronger property than the original. Not a lot of people know this, but the mom from Family Matters is an elevator operator in Perfect Strangers, and that's how they used to launch TV series back in the day. They just covered her family and gave her a nerdy neighbor named Steve Urkel, and then that blew everything out of
It's
the water.
probably more similar to the handicapped individual in St. Elsewhere, where like all those shows are in his head.
Wow.
Right, that's the show. Like,
Yes.
isn't it like the St. Elsewhere universe? That
Right,
like
it ends with a, like
NYPD Blues in it, like a fucking
the
thousand.
crossover ends up being too crazy,
Yeah.
like Homicide, Life on the Streets, and NYPD Blue are in, because Belzer's the same guy.
Yeah, it's because a bunch of friends ended up like crossing over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
and he's like Munch in like 2 series, so he's like the constant. He's like
imagining Cousin Larry.
hey, have you ever been to Mykonos? That's not where he's from. He's from a fake name place, right? Balki. It's not Mykonos. That's a real place.
I can't remember.
I can't
I'm
remember.
an expert on.
I was raised by TV, and I don't even
we
remember.
better pause the episode.
Yeah, let me get my laptops out. Bulky chargers, lots of bulky
We're
chargers.
back. We noticed that Stanger's laptops were mine and Rogers. Now we have to have a whole nother combo.
Turns out there is a P in Johnny Mnemonic.
See? Crudely like
You fucking wrote on Sharpie on my screen.
Yeah. No. Prove it.
Now, High and Mighty has 500 episodes by the time, if you're listening to this, in the year 2458, right before Waterworld starts.
Yeah, whatever AI is listening to this and stealing our personalities,
Yeah.
like hopefully you were entertained.
But we have,
Mine's still on the table for some reason.
whenever you
No
want,
takers?
all right, there's 3 personalities here. Grab all of them if you want. Okay.
You've
Dibs on-
doubled and tripled up on you guys, and mine's still there.
You end up being like the only way to stop AI. Send in Stanger bot.
It's like
Too
the fucking
embarrassing and
flu,
dumb.
like the virus that. Michael, I'm not thinking correctly.
In the end, a Stanger virus wiped them out.
The project was called Project Algernon.
Hey, Kit, why are you taking so long with those directions, buddy?
There is no tracking him, Michael. He's outside of the universe.
So some thoughts on the wind down of
Well,
High and Mighty. We
High and
want
Mighty-
we want exclusive with us.
High
here.
and Mighty has been a great experience for me. I met a lot of great people, but mostly one of the highlights was
UFO guy.
the UFO guy who probably my most heavily redacted episode, as I'm like, well, we're talking UFOs, but we'll leave out the Biden drinking baby blood part. Definitely check out that episode and try to guess when you know how I am as a conversator, try to guess why I'm not talking so much in that episode where I'm just looking at the clock going, 48 minutes is long enough.
Can we get back to the Globe drones in fucking Jersey?
Yeah, I'd rather talk about aliens with you, dude. I know I fucking picked a weird fight there. But ActionBoyz is still going strong. We have several hundred episodes of that standalone show at actionboyz.biz. It's a Patreon podcast. You can get $5 gets you the normal episodes, but a $10 tier, the Zombie Squad, gets you all 6 or 7 monthly episodes and a couple of other perks. So go over to actionboyz.biz. If you're watching this or listening to this and are curious, we also have free episodes at free.actionboyz.biz, where you don't even have to go behind the paywall. You can stay in front of it like a sicko.
Via con Dios, shitheads.
Bye, shitheads.